Flimple Dump and Head Cheese. We're back on Chaos Child, and we're in the final fight, I hope, very, very much. I don't know where I am now. I believe I've probably got delusion. On the top of the school? Damn it. More mind control. I panicked and tried to use my die sword. Huh? It was gone. The die sword had disappeared. What the hell? Damn it. I concentrated as best as I could. I imagined the pale light of the sword. Come on, come on. I couldn't see him or sense him. But Dad was apparently right in front of me with his huge die sword. I couldn't make my die sword appear. I couldn't see it. I couldn't find it. It was always supposed to appear when I imagined it. What did you want to talk about, Non? Serika was standing there on the roof. And so was... Don't try and fool me with your power. You know exactly what I want to talk about, right, Serika? It was Nono, and Nono was standing in front of me and talking. Nono's alive. Nono is? No, that's not right. My sense of logic dispelled the hope that was forming in my mind. This was mind control. Dad's power was causing me to hallucinate. The two of them were right in front of me, but didn't seem to know I was there. So you knew Nono Kurisu? Yes. Suddenly Serika changed. The smiling, happy girl from the newspaper club disappeared. She became a cold, remorseless killer. Stop it, Inoue. I knew I was being mind controlled, but couldn't help myself. I felt a cold chill in my heart, and all the hairs on my body stood up on end. Then you must know what's coming next, right? Serika's die sword appeared in her hand. No, I didn't seem surprised. She just glared at Serika. Stop it. Stop it, Serika. Are you going to kill Takuru too? No, I will keep him alive. That's why I exist. I don't believe you. That's why I'm going to stop you, even if it kills me. I thought you'd say that. That's why you're in the way. Don't. I screamed as Serika stepped forwards, but there was no sign that she heard me. I tried to summon my die sword, but it didn't work. I tried to get between the two of them. And I realised I couldn't move. My legs felt like they were frozen to the ground. Why? Why? But my head was clear. I couldn't let this happen. I knew I had to stop it, but... Serika and Nono's die swords slammed into each other. There was a flash so bright I was forced to close my eyes. And Nono's die sword cracked. You made a mistake. I can see exactly what you're thinking. I can't believe you still thought that I was your friend. Serika kept going forward. There was no hesitation on her face. No, don't. No matter how much I screamed, they didn't hear me. I couldn't move. Serika crossed right in front of me, carrying her gigantic, deadly weapon. There is no friendship within me. And in the next moment... Takuru, I'm sorry. It felt like Nono looked at me. And then, Serika's die sword ran through her. And suddenly I was seeing something else. I felt a cold wind on my cheek and I could see the city in the distance. Huh? I could hear a sob. I'd been crying without realising it. I looked around, forgetting even to wipe the tears from my cheeks. The roof was lit up by the moon. There was nothing here. There was no one here. Of course, there was no sign of Serika or Nono's body. Then what was that? Calm down, calm down. It was all mind control, all just hallucination. It was a fake vision that my dad had created. That's right. It was just like a movie. It had to be. Nono died at Serika's hand. Serika had killed Nono. That had really happened. I'd seen it. But it wasn't happening now. It was all part of the past. There was no changing it. What do you want to talk about, Non? Don't try and fool me with your power. You know exactly what I want to talk about, right, Serika? Again. The two of them were standing there, just like they were before. So you knew Nana Kurusu? Yes. Then you must know what's coming next, right? Are you going to kill Takuru too? No, I'll keep him alive, that's why I exist. I don't believe you. That's why I'm going to stop you, even if it kills me. I thought you'd say that. That's why you're in the way. The two of them played out the exact same scene as before. There was still no sign that they'd noticed me. My heart began to pound loudly again. I remembered how it felt to hold Nono's body in my hands. The smell of her blood and the way the warmth drained from her body. And the way her eyes would never look at me again. Calm down. I tried to tell myself that over and over again. That was part of the past. Screaming wouldn't change it. No. Maybe this wasn't even part of the past. I hadn't heard this conversation. Everything except the fact that Serika had killed Nono might be a hallucination my dad had created. I tried to run away, growing ever more frustrated at my unmoving legs. But nothing worked. That's right. The real me wasn't even here. I was on top of the stage, trapped in a hallucination with Dad and his gigantic die sword standing right in front of me. Can you call it something else, please? Don't need to know about his dad's gigantic die sword. You made a mistake. I can see exactly what you're thinking. I can't believe you still thought that I was your friend. Serika raised the die sword and advanced. It was coming back. I never wanted to go through that again, but it was coming back. I looked away. No, I tried to look away. But my head wouldn't move. I couldn't take my eyes off it. No, it looked at me. Takuru, what are you doing here? What? Serika killed Nono again. Oh, fucking hell, not again. It's a Groundhog Day. And I found myself back at the beginning once more. On the cold, moonlit roof. I wrapped my arms around my body tightly, trying to warm myself against the freezing air. What was that? Nono had looked at me. I'd seen her looking at me, I was sure of it. She'd seen me? No, that was impossible. I wasn't really here. But that was Nono's voice I'd heard, and she had been looking at me. If I was a real gigolomaniac, did that mean I had the power to change the past? If that was true, was that the real Kurusu, not a hallucination? Calm down, calm down. My head hurt and I was losing the ability to think. No, this was an illusion, it was all an illusion. There was no way I could change the past. What did you want to talk about, Non? Don't try to fool me with your power, you know exactly what I want to talk about, right, Serika? Is that it? Because that's a pretty bleak ending, if that's it. On my third time seeing the exact same thing, I finally closed my eyes. Stop it. I don't want to see Nono die anymore. I put my hands over my ears to block out the sound. But I could hear him speaking the same words. The last conversation Nono would ever have flowed directly into my head. You made a mistake. I can see exactly what you're thinking. I can't believe you still thought I was your friend. There is no friendship within me. I didn't have to look to know what was happening. I knew the expressions on their faces. I knew the looks in their eyes. The angle that Serika held her die sword at and how she was going to swing it. I knew it all. Takuru, why wouldn't you save me? I felt warm blood splash on my face the second I closed my eyes. There was no time to even scream. I kept my eyes closed tight, but I could feel the wind on my cheeks again. I was stuck frozen on that roof again. The muscles in my face had tensed up. There was nothing happening, but I was letting out a noise that sounded like laughter. My teeth were chattering. What do you want to talk about, Nom? Don't try it for me. With your power, you know exactly what I want to talk about, right, Serika? I covered my ears, but their words went right into my brain. I didn't know how I could possibly be any more confused. What was that? Why was Nono in front of me? Why won't you answer me? Stop it. I didn't want to open my eyes, I wanted to keep them shut. But for some reason, the moment Nono was killed, they opened on their own. Nono kept dying in front of me. Nono had taken care of me and kept me safe before I'd even woken up from my coma. From my perspective, that was before I'd even known her. She was a part of my family, she was the only big sister I had. And she kept dying over and over. Why do I have to die? My head hurt, but the pain didn't even work as an anchor to keep my mind connected to reality. This Nono was an hallucination, I knew that. But the words she said were ripping apart my mind. Why didn't you save Yui? Why did you try and solve the case at all? Nono looked at me and kept asking. Were those the last words before she was killed? Her dying screams, her final message? No more. I don't want to see her die anymore. Please, stop it. My eyes were closed, but I could see her death repeated again and again in my mind. The dye sword running through her chest. The blood everywhere, the tiny sound coming out of her throat like air leaking from a bag. Her blood was hot when it landed on my face. It didn't have that metallic smell, but it was hot. I couldn't tell anymore. Was this really hallucination? Maybe this was the real Nono. And maybe this was what she really thought. Why didn't you save me? Why didn't you save Yui? Why did you try and solve the case at all? I told you not to do anything dangerous. I told you not to get revenge. It's your fault. I heard a sound somewhere. It was the sound of something snapping. I didn't want to see anymore. I didn't want to hear anymore. I didn't want to feel anymore. I closed off my mind, wanting nothing more than that.
Oi, oi.
Come on, don't you go into your shell now. I'm sick and tired of seeing you stop moving because of guilt. I heard a voice from somewhere, speaking directly into my head. But I held my hands over my ears anyway. I didn't want to hear anything. Fine, I'll have to make it so you can't stop them. You ever heard of Woodburn Heron? Anyway, see you in a month. Have fun breaking. And then, like a computer monitor being powered off, everything disappeared. What? What was this? It was dark. I couldn't see anything. I was in a huge, dark, empty space, like nothing I'd ever experienced. I couldn't even tell if my eyes were open or not. I tried blinking, but the darkness didn't change. I tried to rub my eyes to see if that helped, but my hands wouldn't move. No, not just my hands, nothing moved. Huh? There was no sensation of standing. There was no feeling of weight in my body. Was I lying down? No. Was I floating? It was like being in zero gravity or floating in water with no resistance. Like my body was drifting along. The only thing that existed was the quiet. I could hear a sound of my heart echoing. But even in the overwhelming darkness, I felt a little better. Anything was better than seeing Nono die again and again. It didn't matter what. Compared to hearing Nono's last words over and over. I did nothing but float there. It was like being almost asleep, but there was something stopping me from falling asleep altogether. It felt weird and unpleasant. I tried to at least do something about the floating, but there was nothing to grab onto, nowhere to stand, and my body wouldn't move. I wanted something solid. I tried my best to find it. Suddenly I realised, where was I? What was I doing here? No. This was more mind control. This darkness was another hallucination. I tried to scream and wave my arms, but there was no sound and no movement. If I couldn't move, I at least wanted to feel something with one of my senses. It could be bright light, screaming, even pain, an awful bitter taste, or even a horrible smell. If I didn't find something fast, I'd lose track of where I ended and where the darkness began. I know. What about my shoulder injury from when my dad had knocked me into the seats? I desperately tried to feel the pain in my shoulder, but it didn't work. I couldn't feel anything, even whether or not it was bleeding. It felt like the darkness was gradually burying me, like ants swarming on a piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. The boundary line between my own body and the rest of the world even got even blurrier. No way. I finally remembered a certain piece of information. I remembered that my dad had said just before this happened, wood-burn heron, wasn't it? I matched the name of what was going on. That was a famous experiment, if I remember right. Heron's sensory deprivation experiment. He would put subjects in a sound-treated room that was completely silent, then blindfolded them so they couldn't see, then tied them up with a straitjacket kept at exactly their body temperature to take away their sense of touch. Except for eating, simple meals and defecating, they were kept on a bed at all times. The experiment he'd done was to see how long they could last. The results had been far less than what he'd expected. The most any of them could endure was 2 to 3 days. The worst ones would complain of disturbed thinking after only a few hours. If they continued with the experiment anyway, they would start hearing and seeing things and almost go mad. A human being can't endure long periods of time with no stress or stimulation. The experiment was banned now because of its dangerousness. I remembered something else, something terrifying. What had my dad said? See you in a month? I was supposed to spend a month like this. I screamed, but I couldn't hear my voice. The first change was to my sense of vision. It was after about 2 days had passed. By my reckoning, it would have been about dinner time. I wasn't sleepy or hungry. At some point I just began to count numbers, 1 second, 2 seconds. It was meaningless, but I felt like I'd go mad if I didn't do something. When I'd started past about 100,000 seconds, the darkness in front of me suddenly began to shine. What? Who's there? It wasn't a camera flash or a light bulb, it was just a blurry glow. That was all. I couldn't see anything else or even move. When I saw it, I'd lost track of my number and I started over. The light came every 100,000 seconds. A day was 60 times 60 times 24, so 86,400 seconds. Perfect. I decided to round up and call each 100,000 seconds a day. When there was no light, I was bored. I wished so many times for something to happen. Someone come here. Even Dad, I didn't care. I'd rather be fighting a battle with die swords that I knew I couldn't win. No, actually, I'd rather be stabbed with a die sword. I wanted to feel pain. I thought that when the light came for the 30th time I could escape. Because that would mean a month had passed. A month was 30 days, but nothing happened. The light just coming at the same pace as before. When the light came after 30 days had passed, I stopped counting how many times it had come. I stopped counting up to 100,000 too. What's the point of counting anyway? You ain't still counting? No. I heard that clearly. I started hearing voices sometimes when I neared the 30th appearance of light. Are you just going to die like this? What's Miyashita part like? Hey Miyashiro, how do you know Jen? Adios gracias. Why did you leave me to die? You idiot, are you just going to die here? The newspaper club's just getting started, right? Tell me, why didn't you save me? It hurt so much when I died. You ever heard of wood-burn heron? The voices came and disappeared without listening to my responses. I at least wanted to see their faces. I was already starting to forget what everyone looked like. Maybe if I saw them again, I could stop the darkness from swallowing up my memories. I'll let you out of here. I'll go kill Dad for you. Really? I tried, but it didn't work. I couldn't do it alone. Should we help? Really? You'll all do that for me? Don't underestimate the power of a teenage girl. Adios gracias. Wait. What's wrong? What's wrong, brother Takuru? No, don't tell me you're lonely by yourself. Give me a break. That's not true. Of course I'm not lonely. No, I wanted to tell you to be careful. Dad's power is... What was it again? What's wrong? Where's Sakuma? What's wrong? Where's Sakuma? I can't get killed if I don't know. Tell me, you're wasting time. That's strange. You should be right there. Huh? There? Where's there? Takuru, have you ever heard of wood-burn heron? Don't you know I'm a right-sider? Of course I know. He's the guy who came up with the theory that a day is 86,400 seconds. Huh? Amazing, right? I was slowly breaking and melting away. Suddenly I felt something stabbing me somewhere. It was the pain I'd been longing for, but I didn't care anymore. I was just tired of it. I'll kill you. No, please don't stab me. Why? I don't want to die. Why? Because it hurts. You're not feeling any pain, Takuru. Are you really there? Nona kept stabbing me, as if she was trying to find out where I was. When the sound finally stopped, I heard a wet, slopping noise. I could tell her hands were jammed inside my body, rummaging through my guts. Oh my god, fucking hell. I could imagine the blood. That's grim. But Nona was right. I didn't feel any pain. That's strange. It hurt a moment ago. No, let me see you. I'm sorry. You can kill me if you want. Why? Because I want to see you. I want to see anybody. I'm lonely. No. No. Why? Why did you leave? No, wait. Was that really No? Was that Nono's voice? Did she really talk like that? Wait a second. What was Nono's last name? That orphanage. I was blanking out on the place's name. There were 2 sisters there. What were their names? Oh wait, was it a brother and a sister? Everything was turning black. Who was that girl who always told me not to lie? Who was the one with the white lab coat? The one who didn't talk. The one who always seemed scared. Who'd been stabbing me a moment ago? You don't know? You're a terrible person, aren't you? Shut up. Suddenly the noises started to bother me. I didn't want to be criticised by these people, even when I didn't know their names. Please, somebody kill... Ow. I was surprised by a sudden fierce pain in my head. Thud. I could hear the blood flowing into my head. How many months has it been since I felt pain so clearly like this? No, how many years, or maybe decades? How long are you going to keep doing that? It hurt a lot more for me. I said shut up. All of you, shut up. I screamed back at the voices. I don't know who you people are. All of you, just disappear. Save me. X. When I said someone's name, everything became better. All the voices disappeared, and the pain in my head was gone. Taku, you okay? Huh? You're not hurt. Nope, you're good. She was right next to me, as if there was the most natural place in the world for her to be. And Noe, what are you doing here? I'm always by your side, Taku. That was impossible. When my dad used mind control on me, I killed her. That's right, I remember Dad had used his mind control on me in the theatre cube at the Hikari Way. So this was all just delusion of mine? Yep, just like old times, huh? Zerika laughed. I didn't know why. So, how do you like it? What? Mind control, how's it feel? It's pretty rough. Yeah, it's pretty comfy. Don't get hungry either, right? Zerika looked around into the empty void. She's acting like she'd just come over to check out a friend's new house. Listen, you know how much it sucks not being able to move if it ever happened to you. Sure, I think I can handle it, but you went through that during your physical therapy, right? When I tried to move back then, I felt pain. Even if I wasn't moving, it felt like I was trying to move. Is that how it works? Zerika tilted her head at me. What's happening on the other side? The other side? Reality. I mean, to me in the theatre cube, I'm probably lying on the ground after he uses mind control on me, right? I didn't even have the slightest idea how much time had passed. But it'd been much longer than a day or two. The restoration festival was probably long since over. I might have starved to death. I don't think so. If you're talking to me right now, that means you're alive, right? That's true, but... You're the one who always talks to me about how to put through information together and think things through logically, right? Oh. So maybe time flows differently here and on the other side. That's right, that's possible. What happened to Hina and the others? Hina? Alright, Hinai Aramura. How have I forgotten about her? I think she escaped Shibuya with Shinjo and the others. And the others, Uki and Yuto and... Kunosato. Huh? What about her? She wasn't directly involved in the case, so I had to stay in Shibuya. I see. And then Zerika started asking me one question after another. Could I really not move? Was the light really I sometimes saw a hallucination? Were the voices I heard imaginary? I took a long time answering each one in as much detail as possible. I had plenty of time after all. And just the act of having a conversation was wonderful. It was something I'd done all the time in my daily life and at the newspaper club. Come to think of it, who had first used the phrase, you don't know what you've got till it's gone, and when did they use it? I don't know. I should have brought my Pokecon maybe. I laughed a little, and I wasn't sure if Zerika was serious or joking. Each time I would answer one of her questions, Zerika's expression would change. She'd laugh or get mad or sometimes even try to correct me. She really did seem like a normal person. But... What is it?
お前
You used to be a delusion of
昔は
mine.
僕の
You
妄
didn't
想
really
で
exist.
Oh,
you found out,
バレちゃったか。
She acted just like a kid who'd been caught while playing hide and seek.
他の人からは
How
どう
did it
見え
look
て
to
たん
other
だ
people? If she wasn't real, I must have spent all my time as a kid talking to empty air.
どうって見たまんまだと思うけど、でもさ、私とタクが一緒にいるところなんてそんなに見られて、あと病院の地下でセンリちゃんにか、あれは失敗したな。
That's right. Serica and I spent almost all of our time in my room. I'd never been to her house. No, according to Kunasato, her house didn't
言っ
exist.
てくれればよかった
You
な
should have told me.
そういうわけにはいかないよ。
She laughed, but she seemed a little bothered.
でも
But what about that one
あの
time?
時は
お？
渋谷地震
The Shibuya earthquake.
ああ。
I remember carrying Serica through the hell that was the post-earthquake Shibuya. But if she'd only just been born when I'd had that headache, when I was at the Yogi's shelter, I hadn't really been carrying her on my back at all. Only then did I remember why I was here. It wasn't to talk about old times.
I
I don't know, but maybe it just seemed a little off.
でも
Not much
ちょ
worse
っと
than
変
that.
くらいにしか見えてなかったと思うよ。あんな状況じゃタクが独り言を言ってるとか、歩いてる姿勢がおかしいとか、別に誰も。
Huh?
どうしたの？
What's wrong?
いや
Nothing. If I could have moved my body, I would have been looking straight back into Serica's eyes.
お前を生み出した時
When I created you,
僕はお前に
when I created you,
何を
what did I
望んだん
want
だ
from you?
それはね、
I'm not
わかん
sure.
ないよ。
She didn't seem surprised or upset at all.
だって今の私はタクの知ってることしか知らん。向こうの彼女しか知らないことだもん。
knows the answer to that. Yeah, that's right. The Serica in front of me might look alive, but she was really just a delusion of mine. So she wouldn't know anything that I didn't. I created her to help me get through this torture. She was just... Oh.
お？
Huh? And when I realised it, I was disgusted with myself. I felt so pathetic that I wanted to cry. How could I be so shameless? I killed the real Serica.
僕は
Even if it was a trap created by my dad's mind control, I still killed her with my own hands. She'd almost killed me and I lost control and killed her instead. I torn open her stomach injury, then strangled her. So having mind control was just an excuse. The rage and desire to kill her I'd felt had been real. Even without the mind control, if the same thing happened in reality, I'd do it again, I'd kill her.
だけど尾上は
But no way, Anoa was different. Even when the imaginary me tried to kill her, she'd chosen to die rather than resist, unlike me. But then I'd wished for her again, just like I'd done during the Shibuya earthquake, and I'd come to her for help again. I couldn't handle the darkness on my own, so I created her. I could not imagine a worse person than myself.
別に気にすることない
Shouldn't
よ。
let it bother you, you know?
私
I'm having
ここ
fun.
にいられて楽し
Enough,
いも
stop
ん
it.
タクが呼んでくれなかった
If you
ら
hadn't called me here,
話す
we
こ
wouldn't
と
get
も
to
できな
talk.
かったし。
Don't tell me exactly what I want to hear. Come to think of it, Serica had always been like that, ever since I was little. Even when I was neglected, she was always jealous of me. She always made me think that I was better off than she was. Whenever I wanted to show off some new piece of information I'd learned, she'd always act interested. She pretended to be a stupid girl, so that I'd always get to think of myself as a right-sider.
ごめん
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry.
タク。
Taco. Serica looked hurt when she saw me apologise. Why don't you understand? You don't have to apologise. This is what makes me happy, she seemed to say. But she only looked that way because I wanted her to. My ego and desire to create the role of kind-hearted young girl that was forever forced to play. The two of us were like that for a little while. I kept apologising and Serica seemed to not want to hear it. Eventually, she spoke to me like a mother scolding her child.
タクはね、
But
それ
Taco,
でも
that doesn't mean you can
私を
forgive
許
me.
し、
What?
私、
I killed
のんちゃん
None,
を
right?
でも
But
そ
the
の理由
reason
が
may be my fault. No, it
僕の
wasn't
せ
a
いかも
maybe.
しれないんだ
There had to be something connected with me.
けど
But
私
I'm
は
dead,
死ん
so
じゃ
you
った
can
か
only
ら。
ask me now, right? Serica was right. No, I was forcing her to be right.
じゃあさ、
So then... Of course, I knew what she would say next. Serica's voice became a light, the one thing that lit up my path in this dark world.
タクはどう
What
し
do you
たい
want to
の？
do, Taku? Suddenly, I saw a scene I remembered well. And I'm going to end the episode here. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like in the section below. And if you want to see more of this, and do subscribe to the channel, as I upload every day. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.